Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name's Stefan Senna. This is my YouTube channel, The Coherence Path All Roads Lead to You. This is my painting the white stag, which is challenging to film. I've tried it on my phone and now using my iPad. First of all, it's a very large painting. It's about 6 foot by 6 foot, so it's hard to fit in the frame. I'm in a small room, so it's hard to get the camera back far enough away from it without including a bunch of stuff that you probably don't even want to see, like furniture and stuff. But anyway, I painted this painting about 15 years ago now. It's one of my most frequently commented paintings on my whenever it's seen. People just love it. This white stag, visited me in my apartment I moved into with my young child. They were about 5 or 6, and this creature stayed with me for about 2 weeks. This white stag was in my place. It showed up when I was in the kitchen, and I sensed its presence. I looked down the hallway, which led to the living room, and it was standing in the hallway. Larger than an American elk. It was just made out of light, but it was seemingly physical. Its antlers, parts of its body protruded into the walls. With my psychic or intuitive vision, I could see the entire thing. I had had near-death experiences as a child, and one in 1997 that propelled me into being a painter, which I had no interest in being before that. And if you want to hear about my near-death experience, that's on another video. But we'll talk mostly about this painting and my experiences with it. When I saw the white stag in my apartment, it was telepathically pouring information into my own consciousness. That's the only way I could put it. It wasn't so much in words, it was just a feeling, a presence. Kind of like you meet somebody significant and you don't have to say any words, you just get them and they get you. It was similar to that, but probably times 1,000. And while it standed there, I threw this canvas up on the wall. I nailed it to the wall. I sprayed it down with water, started painting it out. I completed this painting, I think, in 3 or 4 hours. And as soon as I finished the outline form of the stag, the antlers and its body, it turned and walked into other parts of the apartment. Up to that point, it just stood there and stared at me, watched me paint. Moving forward about a year, a friend suggested that I go into meditation and communicate with a white stag. So I envisioned myself. I created a meditation format for that exercise. I imagined myself in a cabin, and I walked down 10 wooden steps out into an opening in the woods, and I just stood there and I waited in the meditation evening. And sure enough, the white stag appeared. It walked out in front of me, and I asked it a bunch of questions, and it answered. Then moving forward another perhaps few months, I decided to see if anybody else had an experience with the white stag. I knew that it was a metaphor for consciousness, for our own consciousness, greater consciousness. What you could perceive or label as God, or however you want to frame it. And so I held what was called a white stag ceremony. I brought the painting to the ceremony. The title of the ceremony, White Stag Ceremony, projected the idea that the white stag could be a visitor, but I did not share my own personal experiences with it. I just introduced the idea that we would all meditate and just enjoy the meditation and see if anything occurred. And I don't know, there must have been 10 or 12 people there. It's a small group, but we all meditated. And after about 45 minutes, everybody shared what they had experienced. And everybody had, I think there was one woman who didn't have any sort of experience. Um, but everybody else had an experience where they interacted with the white stag. There was a woman there that said that during her meditation, the white stag came out into the meadow and she and it sang and danced. I can't remember the rest of the other things that people shared, but this one woman shared that the white stag came out, it stood in front of her and stared at her, and then a symbol appeared on its chest. And she didn't know what the symbol was. She just sat and enjoyed the presence of the white stag standing there looking at her. She said she experienced peace, and the symbol remained on its chest. But when she came out of the meditation, as you do, you kind of looking down. As she was sitting on the floor, she kind of looked down at, her lap, and she saw the symbol sort of hovering above her lap or her body, her lower extremities. And she said she had a thought to put her legs in the position of the symbol. And so she did. She moved her legs. I'm not sure how exactly she was sitting or how she moved them into the position because, I wasn't sitting there watching people. I was just meditating myself and then just holding space for everybody. Anyway, she moved her lower legs into the shape of the symbol that she was psychically seeing overlaid over her physical reality. And when she did that, she said instantaneously, the severe pain in her hip that she had had for months instantly went away. And she shared that she had gone through physical therapy and she had tried acupuncture and massage and all these different things, but she was stuck with a pain in her hip. And as soon as she moved her legs into that particular position, the pain completely went away. And even after she had stood up, the pain was no longer there. It was completely gone. Now, if you've watched some other videos, I don't put any particular power or magic to my paintings. They're paint on canvas. They're physical objects. They serve as metaphors, kind of like a placebo. A placebo is just a metaphor. It gives you a slight suggestion or possibility, and then you either accept it or you don't. 60% of the time, placebos work effectively. The other 40% they don't. Somebody might look at the white stag and, receive some message from it or something else, but somebody else might look at it and go, oh, that's interesting, and walk on. Or they might dislike it, who knows. But at any rate, this, along with other experiences with other paintings, was instrumental in helping me understand how image presents an opportunity for our own awareness and consciousness to communicate with itself. In other words, if you have some sort of concern or you need an answer in some way, you could sit and meditate on that and you might receive a message. Or you could talk to somebody else about it. They might suggest something that's the answer. And there are many times that our own consciousness has a need for an answer, and we might receive the answer in a dream or intuitively. And so I would say paintings or images in general, not only mine but other ones, serve as a format within which our own consciousness can establish meaning or receive insight intuitively from within itself. So that's its only power or ability, its ability to direct us toward ourself if that's something we're willing to engage with. Years after I did this painting, I saw the movie Harry Potter that had the Patronus or Patrona in it, the white stag, and I realized that a white stag is an iconic image. It's been in a lot of religious paintings and folklore. And so there's some usefulness about certain images that consciousness uses across multiple generations to communicate these collective ideas. But in any case, I've had a lot of different experiences with the white stag when I purposely sat and meditated. I've allowed the white stag to show up in meditation. I've asked it questions or just found its presence peaceful. I have an additional accompanying painting that goes with this, and it's the white doe. And I painted that probably 10 years after the white stag. I knew that this was a masculine form, and so I thought, well, could there be a feminine form? And so I received an image and painted it out. It's in the same format, the same size, and outside of our body, I don't think we're particularly polarized one way or the other. We can choose to be that way if we want. But because right now we're looking through the physical lens of this body, the physical representation of a masculine form of a white stag, I thought, well, why not paint the feminine version? And that vision of one came, so I did that. I haven't sat with that one and meditated with it at all. But anyway, that's my white stag painting. It it was helpful to introduce to me the concept of sitting with an image and allowing it to be made alive within my consciousness to serve as a metaphor for my intuition and my awareness in general. So if you want to use it that way, feel free. This is probably not a very good picture of it that I'm filming. If you want a good clear image of it, I can email it to you. Or if you want a print of it, I can do that. Just let me know. Just send me an email. Anyway, I think that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed the painting. Subscribe if you like to my channel. I'm basically going to be sharing a bunch of my paintings. Every single one of them's different. And then I will have other videos of just me sharing ideas and or experiences. I have a lot of videos up by now. Feel free to look through them and tell me if there's particular ones that maybe you want me to talk more about. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for stopping by my channel. I appreciate your time. And I hope you enjoy your day, whatever you're doing. Just enjoy being yourself, being loving, being kind, and allow your intuition to guide your life. Thank you.